Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface, and what better way to bring you my very first video of 2013 than to show you some exclusive footage of patch 5.2. Yep, it went live approximately 3 or so hours ago, and I've been very fortunate enough to character copy Az straight away over to the PTR. Now, I decided to queue up for one of the brand new scenarios, which is called To the Skies, and it put me straight in, but on my own. So I think maybe my character has a high enough item level to get in, but maybe the base template characters that you get on a PTR aren't, because they are only item level 463. But very first of all, I have to get onto the Terror Wing, and look at it, it's just amazing. And I believe, I'm not absolutely sure, but I believe that you will be able to get Terror Wings as a rideable mount in patch 5.2, maybe as a reward from the 2 brand new factions, one for the Horde, one for the Alliance, which will be situated on Isle of the Giants, and I'll bring you footage of that a little bit later on in the week. Now, the very first thing we had to do is fly from the base camp over to the entrance of the mines, and when we did, we were suddenly attacked by a group of other Terror Wings. It was very easy to see which one is ours and which one are the attackers. Ours is blue and the attackers are green. And an action button appears in the middle of the screen. When you click that action button, it will send you over to one of the Terror Wings that are attacking you. Now remember, scenarios are made for 3 people, and I've been put on my own. Now so far, I seem to be able to cope because it literally is 1 or 2 Terror Wings at a time, but it becomes a numbers game a little bit later, and I'm unable to cope with the amount that are there. So how do the Terror Wings actually kill you? Well, yeah, they do a little bit of damage. You've seen me take a little bit of damage, but my healing abilities do tend to actually get me through that. But what they do is, if you are too slow in killing them, then they get a little bit pissy with you. They will actually fly out of the circle with you on the back and then drop you. Now, I took some footage earlier, and I was fortunate enough for one of them to drop me off in the sea. So all I did was literally swim back to the shore, back to the base camp, and fortunately enough, after a little bit of time, another Terror Wing spawned for me to get on and get back into the fight, and I was literally picking up where I left off. The one here isn't so kind and decides to fly off now and then dump me over the land. So I die. So why am I showing you me dying? Well, I decided just to release and see where it spawned me, whether or not it was right by the camp, but no, it spawned me in Westfall. Westfall! It's kicked my ass that bad? Okay, so let's go back to the footage I took a little bit early on when I did run back to base camp and get onto a second Terror Wing. I've gone back in, there are only 3 of the enemy ones left, and I'm just going to easily take care of them one at a time. Now, I can only show you 3 complete stages and part of stage 4 in this scenario because it appears not to be finished as yet. I think I've been very fortunate enough just to get what I can with this scenario so far. But what I was quite impressed with the first 2 stages of this fight and stage 3, they're all a little bit different. I think Blizzard are maybe beginning to learn slightly from their previous scenarios. I think a lot of the scenarios that were released with patch 5.0, which is of course the release of Mists of Pandaria, were very, very weak indeed. A couple in patch 5.1 did have some better ideas, and I also think there's a lot more than just the 3 new ones that it's showing on the PTR at the moment that are going to be coming. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how much they are learning from scenarios, or whether or not they seem to fall for the same old tricks. But stage 2's over. Stage 3's now begun. We've actually got a boss fight, so I've brought my tanking pet into the fray. It's not taking hardly any damage at all. Remember, you don't actually need a tank or a healer with scenarios, so it shouldn't be taking too much damage. But the boss itself has dropped this huge red ring, and inside of that red ring there is a big rain of arrows. Easy to step out of, so you don't take any damage. But when it brings its second one into the fight, the first one doesn't vanish. So if your DPS isn't that cracking, you'll get to a point where the whole of the ground is going to be covered by these rain of arrows, which will probably either kill you or definitely do significant amounts of damage to make you hurry up. But it's very nearly dead, and sadly, when it does die, it's not dropping any loot. So I can't show you what item level of loot these bosses in this scenario are eventually going to be dropping. But never mind. 3 stages down, the broken stage 4 to come, where we head off into the mines. When we do, we find that the mines are absolutely deserted. There's no enemies here. I imagine this is actually going to be populated with some ads and maybe a couple of mini bosses, because eventually I find myself at a couple of these locked doors, and no matter how many times I right-clicked onto them, I just didn't manage to get through. So I hope you've enjoyed this exclusive footage of To the Skies, the brand new scenario. Please do like, comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with some more patch 5.2 later on. Take care everybody. Bye bye.